Martin Luther was an iconic figure of the Reformation. Born in Germany in 1483, he was a professor of theology, a priest, and a monk. He famously nailed his 95 Theses to the door of a church in 1517, which launched the Protestant Reformation. Luther was strongly influenced by the writings of John Wycliffe and questioned certain Roman Catholic teachings such as the sale of indulgences. His writings and preaching against these practices helped to inspire the Reformation movement. Luther developed the doctrine of justification of faith that was central to Lutheranism. He argued that salvation should be found through faith alone, and not through deeds. This view was in contrast to the existing Catholic doctrine and helped to shape much of Protestant thought. Luther was excommunicated from the Catholic Church in 1521 due to his teachings and writings. He then translated the Bible into German, which helped to spread his teachings even further. Luther was followed closely by another major figure of the Reformation, the Swiss reformer Ulrich Zwingli. Zwingli was born in 1484 and became an influential preacher at the Grossmünster Cathedral in Zurich. He adopted many of Luther's ideas, such as justification of faith, and preached against Roman Catholic and other practices. Zwingli was strongly opposed to the use of images and religious symbols in churches, and started the widespread removal of these from churches across Switzerland. Influential French reformer and lawyer John Calvin was born in 1509. He adopted Luther's views on justification of faith and spread them widely through his Institutes of the Christian Religion, which was published in 1536. Calvin advocated predestination, and his teachings became popular among many French Protestants. He was heavily involved in political and religious issues in Geneva, and his teachings helped to shape Reformation thought in France and other parts of Europe. Another important figure of the Reformation was the Dutch reformer Desiderius Erasmus. Born in 1469, he questioned many of the practices of the Roman Catholic Church. He wrote a satirical commentary on the Church and argued for a return to the study of original texts. Erasmus encouraged Christians to place their faith in the teachings of the Bible, not in the interpretations of the Church. His ideas spread quickly and helped to form the basis of the Reformation. Reformer Huldrych Zwingli was born in 1448 and was an influential figure of the Reformation. Also from Switzerland, he shared many of Luther's and Calvin's beliefs, but had a particular focus on the Eucharist and communion. Like Luther, he rejected the practice of selling indulgences and preached against the Church's corruption. He was also heavily involved in the political and religious issues of his time and had a powerful impact on the spread of Reformation ideas. Catholic Church figure John Fisher was a prominent figure during the Reformation. Born in 1469, he was a professor at the University of Cambridge and later became Bishop of Rochester. He opposed the Reformation and vocally supported the Pope's stance on the movement. Fisher argued for the sacramental teachings of the Church and was an outspoken critic of Luther and Calvin's teachings. He was made a cardinal in 1535 and was martyred for his beliefs in 1535. Elizabeth I was a key political figure of the Reformation. She succeeded her Catholic half-sister Mary as Queen of England in 1558 and was declared Supreme Governor of the Church of England. Elizabeth pursued a strong Protestant agenda that helped to consolidate the Reformation in England. She was mostly tolerant of other Protestants, as well as reformers from the continent, and her rule was relatively peaceful. John Knox was an influential reformer from Scotland. Born in 1513, he had close links with Calvinism and helped to spread Reformation ideals in Scotland, which had largely remained Catholic prior to his work. Knox helped to create the Presbyterian Church of Scotland and was also a prominent political figure in the country. He advocated for restricted royal power, constitutional monarchy and religious liberty for all. Philip Melanchthon was a reformer from Germany, born in 1497. He was an ardent supporter of Luther's teachings and was closely involved in the spread of Lutheranism in Germany and other parts of Europe. He was professor of Greek at the University of Wittenberg and worked closely with Luther in developing Lutheranism. He also wrote the Augsburg Confession, which was an important document defining Lutheran beliefs. The Calvinist theologian Johannes Ecolampadius was born in 1482 and was an important figure during the Reformation. He was heavily influenced by Calvinism and by Zwingli's views on pictorial arts in churches. He was a major proponent of Reformed teachings in Basel, Switzerland, where he also served as a professor and preacher. Ecolampadius was also part of the leadership team for the Synod of Baden, which was a major event in the Reformation. German reformer Andreas Karlstadt was born in 1486 and was a leader of the Reformation in Germany. He was a student of Luther and adopted his teachings, but differed from him in certain areas, such as the need for communion to be received in both kinds. Karlstadt was also a strong defender of religious liberty and advocated for the separation of church and state. He also translated the Bible into German and wrote treatises in support of the Reformation. English theologian Thomas Cranmer was born in 1489 and became a prominent figure in the Church of England during the Reformation. He was an important advisor to Henry VIII and helped him to implement Protestant reforms in England.